We've got a new Karate Kid movie, which means it's time to stop and rank all 6 Karate Kid movies from the worst to the best. And in last place is The Next Karate Kid. I'm not sure what they were thinking with this one. The film feels like it fundamentally misunderstands what made the other films work. Mr. Miyagi, who was once a wise and compassionate mentor, is reduced to a borderline parody of himself. He suddenly speaks in broken English and refers himself in the third person like Yoda, but not in a good way. His portrayal borders on being a racist caricature, and is completely inconsistent with how he spoke in the previous films, where he was eloquent in his quiet, thoughtful way. Then there's the new main character played by Hilary Swank. I get that she's grieving the loss of her parents, but she's so whiny and unpleasant for most of the runtime that it's hard to root for her. The acting across the board feels like a low-budget Disney Channel movie, and the plot barely features any actual karate. For a movie with Karate Kid in the title, it feels like it's only cashing in on the name. It's a sequel in title only, and the franchise deserved better than this. Number 5, Karate Kid Legends. The newest entry in the series has some genuine strengths, but it's also a frustrating mixed bag. Wang and Sadie Stanley are both great in their roles, with Stanley especially shining as a compelling love interest. She previously played Kim Possible in the live-action Disney Channel movie, and hopefully this movie gives her the breakout she deserves. The film is also the most mature of the series, exploring weighty themes like PTSD and survivor's guilt. It's the only Karate Kid film to receive a PG-13 rating, and you can tell they're aiming for a deeper emotional tone. The fight choreography is slick and well executed, and visually the film holds up. But where it falls apart is the narrative and pacing. The movie feels like a paint-by-numbers remake of the original. You can practically fill in the blanks with Karate Kid Mad Libs. Kid named blank moves from blank to blank, meets love interest named blank, fights bully named blank, trains with Master Blank for a tournament. Except this time it's not a reboot, it's a sequel, and that's where it becomes more frustrating. The film adds nothing new. It feels like it only exists because Cobra Kai was popular, not because the story needed to be told. The main character already has a backstory with Jackie Chan's character before the film starts, so there's no emotional journey in their relationship like we had with Daniel and Miyagi. If you're going into this movie excited to see Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan on screen together, lower your expectations. They don't even meet until the last 30 minutes, and most of those scenes were spoiled in the trailer. The final tournament also feels rushed with very little build-up. At only around 90 minutes, the movie could have used another half hour or so to flesh out the story and give us more martial arts action. Overall, unless you're a diehard Karate Kid fan, this one's skippable, or at least wait until it's streaming. Number 4, Karate Kid Part 2. This sequel makes the bold and admirable choice to shift the focus onto Mr. Miyagi, giving him a much deeper emotional arc and making him the heart of the story. Taking the action to Japan is a great change of scenery and lets us explore more of Miyagi's past, which is a natural progression for the series. But despite that, the plot still feels oddly familiar. Daniel once again finds himself in a new town, getting bullied, falling for a new girl. It's essentially the same formula as the first movie. While it's a solid continuation, it lacks the emotional highs of the original and plays it a bit safe story-wise. Still, it's a respectable follow-up that expands the world and deepens Miyagi's character in meaningful ways. Number 3, Karate Kid from 2010. Though, let's be honest, this one shouldn't even be called Karate Kid because there's no karate in the movie, it's kung fu. That aside, the remake isn't nearly as bad as it could have been. Jaden Smith gives a surprisingly decent performance here, definitely a step up from his work in After Earth. The movie does a great job contrasting the culture shock between Detroit and Beijing, and Jackie Chan is great as Mr. Han, a character clearly meant to be the spiritual successor to Mr. Miyagi. He brings the same quiet wisdom, but with his own unique twist. The biggest issue is that this movie doesn't really justify its existence. It's essentially a beat-for-beat remake of the original, but with a longer runtime. Still, the production values are high, the performances are solid, and the training montages in Final Fight are genuinely exciting. It doesn't reinvent the franchise, but it doesn't embarrass it either. Number 2, The Karate Kid Part 3. Though the movie is kind of a mess, it rehashes a lot of the story beats from the first 2 films, introduces yet another love interest for Daniel. Seriously, what is going on with his dating life? And the editing is rough. But here's the thing, it's also a lot of fun. The villain is ridiculously over the top in the best way possible. He's like a cartoon villain twirling his mustache while plotting world domination through a karate tournament. It's so absurd, but it works because it fully leans into the camp. Despite its flaws, Karate Kid 3 is entertaining from start to finish. It's the kind of movie that's kind of so bad it's good. It still manages to feel like part of the original trilogy's DNA, pure guilty pleasure. And in first place is The Karate Kid from 1984. This is the one that started it all, and it's still the best around. Nothing's ever going to bring it down.
I understood that reference.
Karate Kid is more than just a sports movie or an underdog story. It's about mentorship, growth, and finding strength through discipline and inner peace. Ralph Macchio's Daniel is a relatable teen trying to find his place in a new environment, and Pat Morish's Mr. Miyagi is one of the most iconic and heartfelt mentor characters ever put on screen. Their bond is the emotional core of the film and gives it timeless appeal. The pacing, the training montages, the music, everything just clicks. And of course, who can forget the crane kick? It's not just a martial arts movie, it's movie history. The Karate Kid isn't just the best film in the series, it's a cultural landmark, and it comes in at number 1. I'm going to share and give the Karate Kid films, and I'll see you next time.